Hey, John, can you read that?
This? Johannes, blah, 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 blah. It says I need to say like and subscribe. Why would I say that?
Because we need to tell people to like and subscribe. If we don't tell them, they're not going to do it. So,
And you're telling me to do it.
yes, to read that, yes.
I'll tell you what, Johannes. I don't take orders from you, and I'll never look at a camera and say like and subscribe this podcast. Oh. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Delete the footage. Right now. I will not pander on this show. I will not tell people, to go to our merch store and buy up all of our merch and like and subscribe and leave a 5-star review. That's not this kind of show, Johannes. Okay, cut. Do we have a Patreon yet? Because we got to get that thing going on, baby. We got to get some more money, Johannes. Ron! Oh, hi, Ron. It's so nice to meet you. Wow, what a sweater.
Thank you. Tried to come dressed up.
Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
Yes, chef. Right?
Right, yeah.
That's the show.
Yeah.
I love that. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You look great.
Thank you.
You look comfy.
This is a comfortable chair.
It's a throne.
Yes.
It's meant for kings and queens.
Okay. Okay.
And today, you're my king.
Okay. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You have a great smile. You came in the door. I was like, I feel so much better. I'm so happy it's Ron.
You really put me at ease. I really appreciate that.
Of course. If you like a water, it's under your chair.
Okay.
If you'd like any technical help, good luck. You won't get it. Johannes is our producer.
Hi, Johannes.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
He
How are
is
you?
Thank you. Good.
subpar.
Okay.
But we do our best here.
Is this like a nagging thing where he's actually decent, but you try to keep him under your thumb, or is this?
You know what? He's okay, but he gets a little lippy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of, you have
But
a
he
podcast,
he
right?
likes this. Yeah. It's like a tension between the two of you, perhaps.
Yeah. I don't think it adds to the comedy, but it's there. Tension amongst coworkers.
Yeah.
Little sexual tension.
Yeah.
It's all there, Ron.
Everybody needs a work wife.
Oh, that's what he is.
Yeah.
I call him my little sweetie because he's Swedish.
Please, we talked
My
about
little
this.
sweetie work wife. What are you saying, babe?
We already talked about this. We're not doing the sweetie thing. It's not a thing.
Oh, you're not Swedish anymore. I'm sorry.
No.
Hey,
Yeah, why are
breaking
you-
news into the studio. No longer Swedish. Got it. What are you now?
leave your home and you're no longer proud of your origins?
Yeah, what's
No,
going on?
I'm very proud, but Swede is not the correct nickname for a Swedish person. It's a Swede.
Right, but it is the correct for a work wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, he got you there.
Johannes, Ron Funches agrees with me, so I'm pretty sure it's a thing.
Sure.
He's a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swede also sounds a little bit derogatory, whereas sweetie is beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah, like sweet is like short.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, kind
Yeah.
of has a bite to it.
It does.
Yeah.
It's got a tone.
Like when people call me a gob, I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a hard B. I
Yeah.
don't like it at all.
No one likes a hard beat.
No. Give me the Lynn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Goblin.
you say it.
The Goblin American.
Oh, yeah, got Goblin America hyphenated. Yeah. Yes. You don't have to anymore, but for a period of time, everyone's like, it's got to be.
Oh, during the
Goblin
90s, it was all Goblin American.
Yeah, where was that coming from?
I don't even know. Most goblins didn't even care for that.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Most of my goblin friends were like, look, I'm just a goblin. You don't have to throw in the American.
Yes. And you have a lot of Goblin friends.
Yeah, I have a few. Yeah.
I love that. Already, this is my favorite interview so far. And we haven't started recording, by the way.
Okay.
I'll tell you when we start recording, for sure.
Let me know.
Wait, real quick. I just got some good fan art. Mm-hmm. Do you see I got an action figure, Ron?
Okay, I like that. Oh, okay.
Look at this.
Wait.
We take a look. What do you think?
Yeah. Who made? Oh, okay, yeah, I have one of these.
Wait, wait a minute.
Not of you, but of me. From the same person. Sam Hawk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Hawkins.
Sam Hawkins. He did one of Ron Funches?
He did one of me.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't make the back cover. I see the back cover has other people that he enjoyed. Like there's Brad Williams, there's Rick Glassman, Ari Shafir.
Wait, Rick made it and you didn't make it?
Didn't make the back cover.
The Glass Man?
The Glass Man.
Really?
I know.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I made an action figure, Ron, it would just all be photos of you
I love that.
on the back.
So it would sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. Be a big seller. Do you like to collect things and stuff? Like I was gonna watch your podcast. I was gonna.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm very busy with my podcast.
Yeah, I get it.
But I heard that you have like a lot of like collectibles. What kind of things do you like to collect, Ron?
To be completely honest with you, I just like to collect things that bring joy and happiness to me. Sometimes there were things from my childhood or things that I wish that I could have gotten in my childhood. I don't really go out of my way to be like a completionist of any way, but I have like a sealed copy of Super Mario 3 because that was my favorite game, a copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, a couple, like a sealed Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo.
Which one is Super Mario 3?
It's the one where you can turn into a raccoon and you have a Tanuki suit and you can become a statue, and you also can hop into you can knock a Goomba out of a boot and then hop in his boot, and then you can, walk across piranha plants without fear.
That sounds awesome.
It was a good time.
And is that the one you can fly?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Is Yoshi in that one?
No, that's Super Mario World. That's the next one.
Okay. I was texting him the other day, and just like, Yoshi's like, he was so bad about that. I couldn't believe it. Yoshi was like, I'm not in 3. It's like, it was like, that was like a big thing for him.
Okay.
It's like I don't know what the raccoon suit is called.
Tanuki, yeah.
Yeah, Kanuki?
Tanuki.
Kanusi.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Kanusi was like, whoa. It was like the two of them. That was almost like,
this is behind the scenes stuff. I didn't know that.
yeah, this is like Ricky Gervais and Steve Carell. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, like they were like, this is my version of The Office, with like 3 and wow. I gotta say this about Yoshi. Not much of a texter, but if you get him on call and you get Google Translate, nice guy.
Okay.
Yeah, nice
so
guy.
more of an in-person.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I'm very much the same way.
Oh, you don't
My
like
friends.
texting or calling?
I am just aloof as a friend. It's one of the things that my friends know about me. I might say, like, come over to my house, and then you show up, and I'm not there yet for like a good half hour, 45 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happened today.
Yeah.
We were like, where's Ron? And then you're here.
Yeah.
But see,
Well, this was traffic-based. This wasn't... Well, I mean, I guess sometimes they're all traffic-based.
in LA,
Yeah.
traffic.
I know. Well, feels like one could have planned for it.
Okay. All right. I mean, hey, I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. You said a word I wasn't familiar with, Ron. You're not a completionist. What does that mean?
That usually is someone who likes to collect everything from beginning to end. Like if you're a comic book series, like I have friends that love comic books and they'll need to get every issue of a particular run, even if they don't, even if nothing happened in one of those issues. They just need it to have the full collection to be a completionist.
Oh, so you got to get them all.
Got to get them all. Pokemon.
Collect like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Got to get them all.
Got it.
That's why they say that.
Yeah.
Because everyone who plays Pokemon is a completionist.
They try to be. You have to be.
Got to get them all.
If they're serious.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want, right now, completionists. I want people who are listening to every single episode
Absolutely.
and are going to listen to every single episode to the end of time.
Yes.
That's what I want.
That's what you need. That's what a fan is.
That's right, Ron. That's what a fan
Fan
is.
doesn't just come and go. They don't just willy-nilly when they need you. They're here for when you need them.
Wow. This is like Pete Holmes if Pete Holmes made sense. You know what I mean? This is great. This is great. I'm getting real advice I can actually hear. This is fantastic, Ron. Wowie, zowie. Okay, so ladies, you ready to start?
Yeah.
You ready to start
Let's
this
do it.
giggle fest? Let's get it going. Well, right now, I have comedian, voice, actor, podcaster, Ron Funches, everybody.
Hey,
Bunches of Funches. Anyone ever say that?
Pete Holmes said that.
Really?
Yeah,
But he
he-
was probably like, what is a name and how do we get to the center of who we are to be the Funch of the bunch?
That's what happens when you move out to Palm Springs.
Rob, we actually have a lot in common because I was looking you up and you podcast. So do I. Okay. You do comedy.
Yeah,
I'm dabbling.
I love it.
We collect things. And now we have both taken place in a wrestling match.
Okay,
I heard that you wrestled.
I did. Yeah.
Tell me about Ron Funches in a wrestling match.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big fan of wrestling. I have been since I was 5 years old. Grew up in Chicago, which is a hotbed of professional wrestling. And then just my only job, things that I ever wanted to do that I had any interest in was comedy and professional wrestling. I had a friend of mine that passed away suddenly out of the blue, and it kind of just put this spurring me to try some things before I pass away. And so I went to wrestling school for about a year and then dropped out and then found a new school that was less serious and more silly, and then ended up doing a match with this wrestler named Tony Deppen and had a great 20-minute debut match and killed it until Paul Scheer turned on me and hit me in the head with a bucket, and then I lost.
Paul Scheer did that?
Yeah. He promised he wouldn't before we left.
I don't like that Paul Scheer interfered with Ron Funches' match. I'm going to ask him about it.
Please.
We got Paul coming on for Christmas, and I will talk to him.
Let him know. I've never forgotten.
I don't like when people just kind of like run in and interfere with a wrestling match.
Yeah, especially hit you with head with a bucket.
Oh, no, thank you. Anyway, so this is a clip of me interfering with a wrestling match. This is at Riot Fest. This is for NWA. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this.
Oh,
Kabam!
Yeah, classic low blow.
Whoa. Well, wait.
Why are you?
He's going to get me. No, he's not. No, he's not. Tom Latimer says no. 3.
Tom Latimer's got a very, very attractive wife.
Tom does?
He does.
I mean, Tom is very attractive. I mean,
They're an attractive couple.
look at them. I mean, what a specimen Tom is. Shout out to my buddy Tom, my Riot Fest best bud. So we were both in wrestling matches.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love wrestling in general. Yeah, I love that about us.
I want to get to know more about wrestling. So I figured I would ask you. I know all about gimmicks because my band has been in search of one for a long time. Still looking. We'll find it. We will. I want to know what a wrestling gimmick is, Ron.
Okay. Wrestling gimmick is usually your personality, your catchphrase, your je ne sais quoi. Just you maybe if back in the 80s it was your job that you had, so you could be the wrestling plumber or the wrestling baseball
So
player.
I mean the wrestling life insurance salesman.
You can be for sure.
I don't know if that really has a lot of allure though. You
They
know,
had a guy who just repossessed stuff.
really
Yeah,
a repo guy.
repo man.
That's what they called a repo guy.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just came out and said, "Sorry, you double parked. I had to." And then they're like, "Ding, ding, ding, ding."
And then the back.
That was it?
That was pretty much it.
Wow. I don't
A
know if
lot
I'd
of
watch that.
wrestlers
Who
double
else did they
park.
have in the 80s? This is great. What other kind of
They
jobs
had a
did they have?
clown. You could be a clown.
No,
That
thank you.
Yeah, I agree
Although,
with that.
I'd be into the juggalos. I like those.
They also wrestled.
I know, I saw
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
we did the Gathering of Juggalos, a heck of a time. Okay, so there's clowns, there's Repo guy. Mm-hmm. Who else?
Let's see. Oh, always karate people. You can be a karate man.
All right.
You could be a censorer. You could have the right to censor people.
Wait. A censorer? That's a job?
That was a job. Like you part of part of just standards and practices, basically. Keeping people, making sure not too many, especially in the late 90s with wrestling, they were showing a lot of boobies, a lot of butts. And then there was a job of people like, hey, you're showing too much. Cover up.
Oh. For a second, I thought you said census. I thought that would be a fun wrestler, too, who just kind of shows up to the ring and is like, how many wrestlers in the ring? There's 4 of you? Okay, thank you. Ding, ding, ding. And then the match is over again. I really like wrestling. This sounds fun. Not a lot of wrestling going on, but a lot of just like going up to the ring and checking it out and then leaving.
Most of the fun of wrestling is not the wrestling. It's the costumes. It's the fireworks. It's the musical choice. And then you just coming down to the ring. Who wouldn't want a life where you like someone introduce your name and then you walk out and then there's fireworks and music playing. It's beautiful.
I gotta be honest, when you describe it like that, it kind of sounds metal.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a bit
I feel like there's a bigger crossover than I realized because we just went to Riot Fest and we saw like Rob Zombie, you know, and Rob came out. There was like a bunch of fireworks and they announced him and he was kind of on like this platform, you know, like, oh, that would be fun. Like if there's like a moving platform that wrestlers came out to the ring on, you know?
Yeah, they did that one time.
They did that.
WrestleMania 3. They had everybody in tiny versions of a ring, and then they would be pushed towards the ring.
Like Hulk Hogan and stuff?
Hulk Hogan. I think they did it because Andre the Giant, it was Hulk Hogan versus Andre, and Andre wasn't well enough to walk all the way down, so they had to do motorized cart.
And then did Hulk Hogan play Dracula?
Yeah. Yes.
I thought so.
Yes.
That's awesome. Now, that's a show I would see.
Oh, truly.
You know, Dracula, brother.
Yeah.
You know? That's kind of fun.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I just want to give a little gratitude to someone who works really hard on this show. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and doesn't get enough credit. Me. No, I'm just kidding. It's you, Johannes. Honestly, your beard, your never laughing, brings me so much joy and allows me to keep doing what I love, which is the show right now. Anyone who knows me or read my book knows my stance on taking care of your mental health and talking to someone about it like a therapist. I go to therapy all the time. That's the only way I could deal with my anxiety. That's the only way I could deal with Johannes. That's the only way I could deal with all these weird comedians that keep coming on my show. I talk to someone about it. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Visit BetterHelp.com/right now today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/right now. You wrestled. Mm-hmm. What was your character name?
When I actually wrestled, my character was just me, Ron Funches, because I wanted to capitalize off my comedy and my general demeanor that people already knew. Previously, when I was a kid, I was just always Ron the Reckless Negro Funches, and that was a fun character.
What's like the vibe of the character? Because when you said wrestlers are just kind of like their personality, I don't mean this in an offensive way.
Sure.
But I wouldn't want to wrestle you. I would want to hug you and be your friend.
That's how I get you.
A very welcoming personality.
Yeah.
So how does that work in the wrestling ring?
That's the same thing. I just be like, hey, come here, give me a hug. And then I punch him in the throat.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that an actual part of Ron that we should not trust? Because now I'm a little, I'm put off a little bit.
I don't like to trick to punch people in the throat. No, I do like to be. I like being aggressive. I like conflict. I mean, I do jujitsu and I do Pilates. I'm an active person.
You do what?
Pilates and jujitsu.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So what is Pilates and jujitsu, and how does that work into your wrestling?
Pilates is mostly just flexibility and core work. And then jujitsu is grappling and choking. And they work with my wrestling because they let me choke people better and then not blow up with my wind. If I have to wrestle for more than 5 minutes, I can have more cardio.
And what belt are you?
I'm a blue belt, which is the second belt.
No, like
So
what belt do you wear now?
Oh, like a 38.
But what did you used to be?
Like a 54.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that belt. That's almost more impressive.
Thank you.
You're like a black belt in losing weight.
Yeah. And
You're
then-
like a black belt in transformations.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's true. And
How did you do that?
fluctuation.
Was that also for mostly like Pilates and wrestling and stuff?
It was just a big life change from being completely inactive, not working out at all, and drinking like a 6-pack of soda every 2 days or every day. I'd probably
same.
say,
Yeah, same.
probably a day.
Same.
And then to drinking a lot of water, carrying my hydro flask with me everywhere I go, trying to drink a gallon a day, and now I work out like 6 days a week, but to try to have a balance and just enjoy my life and just eat better.
How do you do all the things you just named? Because you talked about wrestling, you have a podcast, you're a successful actor, you're working out 6 days a week. How do you fit all this in? You know, I'm trying to get a better work-life balance because I'm here all the time, and then I got to go to the office, push papers for Brad, and then I'm back here, and I'm so stressed. Like I used to have a full head of hair, Rod.
I hear that.
You know?
Yeah.
Now I'm looking like Benjamin Franklin, you know? What's going on? So how do I have a better work-life balance?
You look like Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah. I'm a forefather right now of stress.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
I would say the best lessons I learned is to use any of my success or blessings I have to just make my work life easier. So when I got any money at all, I didn't like run and buy jewelry or a bunch of shoes or anything. I got an assistant to help me run my business better. So then I could take naps and do things like that. I have, 2 kids, and so I have a nanny to help pick them up and stuff so that I can continue to work. It's just been really about letting myself be like, hey, I'm not a superhero. I only have so much energy in a day. So if I need to take a nap, if I need to rest, I have to do that because I have the same thing. I have work in the day and then I have my night shows and stuff. So it becomes a balance, but it's worth it because then I get to go to Japan or go on vacations, and it's really cool when you're in places and you're like, comedy and my dumb ideas and my silliness got me to these places. It makes me happy.
Hey Rod, I'll put you. We're just gonna stop rolling for a second. So Rod, normally I have comedians on. I ask them like questions, and then they say a bunch of dumb shit, and then I can like really get them. But you like keep saying like really poignant, vulnerable stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I don't really know what to say other than I pay you for a therapy bill. You know, it's like maybe not so smart, poignant stuff. You know what I mean? Like
I've heard this before. Yeah.
like Santita was on here and he was just like blah-bitty blah, blah-bitty blah, my balls, you know, and I was like, let's get him.
Yeah.
But you're like kind of saying things that it's making me feel like I need to like better myself. You know what I mean? I need to like, I need to be getting better, That's what I would say.
Yeah, it's a detriment to my career, but
Wait a minute, it's a detriment to your career. I would think everyone would want to work and be around Ron Funches, right?
Thank you.
Johannes, is this not the first guest you feel good about?
It's the only person here I feel good about for sure.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So like, you don't find yourself like working more because of that?
No, that's true. What I find myself is that certain people really do value and enjoy what I bring to the table and want to be around me. And they're very valuable people and that's helpful. But then there's other people who are like, because I don't do what's an easy digestible, like, I mean, I'm very funny, but I like to also talk seriously. So sometimes people don't know what to do with that. Yeah. But no, it really has helped. I mean, that's why I ended up working with Maya Rudolph on Loot. It's just because she was like, I wanted to work around people who I could be around 12 hours a day, and I love you. So come work on this show.
Loot. Let's talk about Loot.
Sure.
What's Loot?
Loot is a show on Apple TV starring Maya Rudolph where she plays a billionaire divorcee. And she deals with trying to get rid of her money and be a regular human being. And I play her cousin. And I know people who call it The Princess and Her Cousin. And I think that's a better title.
Is your character a billionaire?
No, not at all.
What are his intentions?
His intentions are to work as little as possible, but to mostly be a good person and support his cousin because he knows that everybody else is out for her money or has ulterior motives, and he still treats her as family.
I could relate to that character. You know, my podcast, huge success, shot off like a rocket. Everyone's coming out of the woodwork now. All my family and friends I never talked to or hit me up for stuff, you know. Like, heard you got one sponsor, you know. Like,
They want a better help code.
they do. Yeah, and I gave it to them, which is right now, better help. The help that's better. Is that a good ad read? Can we use that?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
But yeah, I know what you mean. People come up out of the woodwork. They always want to talk to you. That's why some of my family members get mad at me because I'm very aloof and unreachable. But I think that's for the best.
You just do your own thing.
Yeah. You know where I'm at? I'm at the farmer's market on Sunday, Studio City Farmer's Market.
And today, they're like, where are you at? And you're like, I'm on a podcast with a goblin. Where do you think I am?
Where do you think I am?
Yeah.
I'm talking. I met Morgan Freeman last week. So it's like I met a goblin and a god. Those are a fun couple weeks.
You met Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, I did.
Where was that? What was that like?
I was doing a talk show called The Talk because now things are very literal. They don't even try things with their titles anymore. They just The Talk.
Yep.
And he was a guest before me, and so I ran right into him and just shook his hand and told him how important he was in my life and how much he means to me. And then he just smiled at me and walked away, and I loved it.
He didn't say anything?
Not a word.
He just went, "Ee," and then started walking.
Yeah.
Probably because he's got to save those pipes.
I think so.
That's his moneymaker.
He had just been talking for like 5-10 minutes doing a talk show. He didn't need to keep talking.
Or
what was he
he's-
going to say? I
Yeah,
don't
or
know
he's
who
so
you are.
old right now, he had no idea the conversation he just had. You know?
That's what I love watching people get older, legends get older, because they both seem sweeter and also more vulnerable, and to the point where I'm like, oh, maybe when I see comedians that are getting older, I'm like, oh, I might be better than you now.
Yeah, I just saw an interview with Al Pacino and I thought it was me. Yeah. I was like, look at that guy. We got the same look now, same stylist, I think, me and Al Pacino. That scarf ain't hiding nothing.
No, not at all.
So I have a fun game for us, Ron.
I love games.
Yeah. Since you're so good at wrestling and coming up with like ideas for people on the wrestling gimmick topic, I thought we'd throw up a celebrity and then you and me would try and come up with their wrestling gimmick, maybe their finishing move. If you have entrance music you feel like fits them, like let's really help them out.
Sure. I love that idea.
So up first, do you know who this is?
Yeah, that's Fred Durst.
That's Fred Durst. Oh, wait. Ron, ask me if that is Fred Durst.
Is that Fred Durst?
Yeah! Okay. So yeah, that is Fred Durst.
Yeah.
So let's talk. Okay, so he's, who did you wrestle for?
I wrestled for GCW, Game Changer Wrestling.
Awesome. So GCW is calling up Fred, and they're calling you up, and they're like, Rod,
Yeah.
we got Fred. He wants to do a match.
Yep.
He pitched us being just a Jehovah Witness. He wants to just come to the ring and ring the doorbell, then we don't answer it, and then he leaves. Didn't work. We need a new gimmick.
Okay. I got it. I'm gonna call him Mr. Mashup. And he just pushes two different things together that are always opposed to each other. And so he just comes into a ring and he grabs a fan, actual fan, not a human, a fan and a chair, and he punches those, and he just mashes things up, punches you in the face with them. It's similar to New Jack in a way, which if you're a wrestling fan, you know, but he carries a lot of different items, fuses them together, and he's Mr. Mashup. Because I think he was good at that.
I like that. Mm-hmm. Mr. Mashup. Mm-hmm. And what's his catchphrase?
Oh, his catchphrase is, I did it all for the nookie.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, Rod.
Thank you.
We're cooking. Mm-hmm. Johannes, who else we got?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is
That's my boss.
your boss.
Yes, my boss.
Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
So should we call her the boss?
I like that. I want to call her Boss Princess.
Boss Princess.
Yeah, because she's both a princess and a boss. She's very just dominating and like good at her work, but she's sweet and she's kind. She makes you feel at home. You could tell that she's got children. It feels like she could make a batch of cookies at any moment. And then she comes in and bashes you over the head with a punchline. Boss Princess. And she also has a band called Princess. So I think it really.
Does she really?
Mm-hmm, a Prince cover band.
Wrestlers are very loud.
Yeah, very
when
loud.
they're doing promos. Do you do your promos loud or do you do them like Rod?
No, I do them like me. I do them low key. I'm like, hey, this Sunday.
Because you make everyone lean in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You better look out because it's going to be one-on-one. Me and you. And we're going to have a hell of a time, and I'm going to pin you to the mat. And then if that's okay with you.
It is. I give consent. Yeah. That's how I would be as a wrestler. Let's do another one, Johannes. Here we go. Timothy Chardonnay. Here we go. So what do you think about him?
I did not know who that was. So that was a new one for me.
Okay.
I know very famous.
Yes.
Floppy hair.
Yeah. He was in Wonka.
Yeah.
He was in some other movie.
Mm-hmm.
Dune, for instance.
What's that?
Dune.
Dude? He was in Dude? Wait. Was he in Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah, he was in Dune, Where's My Sand?
Dude. Wait a minute. Did Johannes just make a joke?
That was good.
Did Johannes just make a joke?
I like
Dude,
it.
Where's My Sand? That's pretty good,
Yeah,
Johannes.
that's a good joke.
Cut that joke, or else everyone's going to think you're funny. Okay? So here's the thing. Here's my pitch.
Sure. Yeah, you haven't done any.
Well, you're killing it, dude.
Thank you.
You know? I think, do you remember Shawn Michaels?
Yes, of course. Heartbreak Kid.
My favorite theme song of all time.
Yeah.
Just literally him telling you he's a sexy boy.
But not your boy toy.
Yeah. So on a lot of these shows, when they do like reboots, it's always like, this is like my son. You know, it's like the son of the maker. So we make him Shawn Michaels Spawn.
Okay, I like that.
And he is sexy boy.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I like that.
He's
I
got a
love
big
that.
ego, you know,
What's his finishing move?
probably like subpar acting. Oh, but everyone else tells you it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Hey,
going to defend it, but I was in an animated film with him, and they
Oh, okay,
recast me.
okay,
They
so,
took me out of it. So
we'll try
whatever
again.
you
We'll try
want.
again.
No, you can say whatever you want. They cut me. They took me out of it.
They took Rod Funches out.
They took me out. It happens.
Do you do a lot of voice work, Rod?
I do a lot
You
of
have
voice
such a good voice.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've done like some really exciting voice work for
I
stuff.
have, yeah.
Like what?
I've been Inside Out 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love the Inside Outs, Rod. I love those. They did with like anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a lot of all the
Anger,
characters. I'm
yeah.
like, yep. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yes.
I see myself in them all. Rod, what else? Rod, it's so fun.
The Trolls movies. I don't know if you're familiar with the Trolls franchise. Oh, is that a bad word for Goblin?
Rod,
Yes.
wait, what do you mean you did something for the Trolls movie?
Yeah, for the movie, yeah.
Let's I mean, I don't want to use the term movie. I'm going to say propaganda. You did something for the trolls? Trolls. Ron, trolls?
Yeah.
You know, trolls are evil and goblins are good, and trolls are always trying to get one over on goblins, and we have a long-standing beef.
I didn't know that.
It's like the Bloods and the Crips.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's like the Jets and the other ones.
Well, it feels weird because like
Blades.
the trolls paint the goblins as evil. Did you know that?
Oh, I know. Yeah. And they got all the money behind them to really fund this whole thing. Excuse me, Gary. To fund this whole thing so that everyone would think that trolls are this cute, cuddly thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry to bring this up, but I'm glad that we did because I do agree with you, and I'm sorry that you've gone through it. It reminds me of the 90s type of propaganda where you would see all these like ads for like ADT and all these security systems, and they would use white flight, and they'd be like all these things with black guys in masks, and it was about a lot of propaganda, and I feel like the Goblin community goes through the same. Whenever I play Dungeons and Dragons, Boulder Gate 3, something like that, I'm like, why are the Goblins always... People are so rude to goblins.
Thank you, Ron. And we all know, like, when someone is nasty in the comment section, what do we call them? Trolls. Yeah. Because I think we all know what a troll is and what a troll does. And a goblin is supposed to be green, which means empathy. We care about people. You know, sure, we eat a baby every now and then.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah, who doesn't?
But me, I stopped that.
I grew up listening to Brother Lynch Hung. I get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not familiar with the reference, but if it's pro-goblin, I like it.
It's pro-goblin.
Awesome. Ron, I'm not going to fault you for doing trolls. I totally understand how it makes total sense.
Thank you.
And you understand what we've been through. You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like...
Now, do you get happy about good goblin representation? Like, I always remember that line from the Lil Wayne song. He was like, "What's a ghoul to a goblin?" Were you like, hell yeah?
Lil Wayne is my people. You know, every time I see him, I'm like, I want to get him on this show. I want him on right now because he's always been pro-goblin.
The older he looks, is he not a goblin?
I mean, he lives a very goblin lifestyle.
He does.
He's got the vibe. Check. You know, I think so. And to be honest, there isn't a lot of good goblin representation in the media. That's what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm trying to, come out here on my podcast, write a book, and let everybody know that, like, goblins are good. And we have a whole goblin army out there of people that I've converted slowly. In fact, most of my guests, Ron, come in, comedians, not like crazy funny, but, just okay.
Yeah.
But they leave goblins.
Wait, this kind of sounds like more of a plot and a plan than a show. Then you're telling me that you're amassing an army as some type of dictator, and
I'm not a dictator. I'm the leader.
Okay.
And if anyone, questions that, they're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what I want to do
And
is
by done, what do you mean?
Done. Yeah.
They're done.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
So Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity?
It's a reboot of the Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader game show that starred Jeff Foxworthy, who used to tell you which ways you could diagnose yourself being a redneck. And now it stars Travis Kelce, who is a football player, a Super Bowl winner, and a guy known for dating Taylor Swift.
Now that's a glow up.
That's a real glow up.
That's a glow up right there. So wait, they were like, a fifth grader? No, it's 2024. It's got to be a celebrity.
Well, I think it went from like back in the 90s, people were smarter than fifth graders. And now they're like, no, we know not possible.
Yeah.
But they might be smarter than some celebrities.
In the 90s, they called them fifth grade Americans.
Yes.
Yeah. Hyphenated too. So You were on this show
I was on this show
as a fifth grader.
as a as a celebrity fifth grader.
Oh, so you were the celebrity on it.
Yes.
So Travis isn't the celebrity.
He's the host.
He's
He's like you.
hosting the show.
He's hosting.
the football player
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of Ron.
Instead of me. Yeah. I had the same conversation in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, we got a show. We need a host. Should we hire someone who can host? or,
Hear me out.
yep, get that tall piece of meat that Taylor Swift's dragging around these days,
Yeah.
throw him in a suit, and make him read a teleprompter.
I was right with you, and when I went on set and I watched him do it, and I was like, they made the right choice because they got both. He can host, and I'm like, you with a game show, you want to show people from 4 years old to 80 are watching. You want those 80-year-old women attracted to your host. You want the 40-year-old women's attracted to your host. Travis Kelce hits all those marks, and he's actually he. I would love to talk shit about it, but he crushed it. He did a great job.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's quite the seal of approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Ron.
Oh, I learned a lot. I learned, like, I guess if you're like a Super Bowl champion, you probably have a mindset that makes you work hard and good at things. And he certainly didn't start off like he'd been hosting for 5-10 years, but he went away for a weekend, came back, and he came back a different dude. He was completely in the moment. He was great with the guests. He was funny on his own. All they had to do was stop giving him jokes. Like, when they gave him jokes, he would bomb them. But when they stopped giving him jokes and they just let him react, he became very natural and very funny.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, champions, you're a Chicago Bears fan.
Yes.
So, when you were on the show, Rod, what did you do on the show?
I basically try to help people win money. I try to help the other real life contestants win money. They can bring one of the celebrities up, and we try to help them, which is fun because it's like one of my favorite activities is funneling money from corporations into people. So to be able to do that with MGM and Amazon's money was really fun for me.
So, whose money can you funnel my way, I guess is the question. Because, I mean, who are your sponsors you can send us? Who can we help? Help me, Rod. I mean, just consider him a football player. And Johannes, you could probably do an intro, right?
Sure.
Oh, he already bombed it.
Does Kelsey take that many pauses before he even speaks? No, I didn't think so. Okay, so, Rod, how can you help me make some more money?
I don't know. I would.
That's literally what I have written down
How
right
can I
here.
help? I want to make more money too. How can we help each? I guess we're doing it now, right? In a way, yeah. We're trying to help each other make more money.
We are.
Yeah.
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 We are making more money.
Yeah.
We're getting better at it. Yeah. So, speaking of game shows and hosting game shows, you were on a Quibi show,
Yeah.
who I just signed an overall deal with.
Good. That's a positive move.
Yeah, this one's called Nice One,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yes.
I love this idea. Can you tell the Goblins what Nice One was about?
Yeah, Nice One was basically the inverse of a roast battle. It was a compliment competition where people would make fun of each other through compliments instead of talking trash about each other. It was pretty much like At Midnight, but with compliments.
And did you create the show, or they just asked you to host it? Because it's
the
perfect for
creator
you.
was a guy named Kyle Ayers, and he had this show, and they would do it around festivals and stuff, and then we kind of helped them develop it for TV, and then I hosted it, and I really loved it. It helped me realize that I want to host. Like, I love hosting things, so that's the reason why I went on the celebrity game show. Was like, hey, even if I'm not hosting, let me be involved. You never know what it'll lead to.
So, what are your opinions of roasts in general?
Not a fan of them if they're of people. I'm not a fan of this generation of roast, where they're more used as like propaganda and lifting up people and changing people's viewpoints of like, you know, Tom Brady, to try to humanize them and make them seem more like real and more one of the people. And I'm a big fan of the old 80s and 70s roast. I still like, that's what I'll do at night is I'll go back and watch Richard Pryor roast or the old Friars roast, where there's people who actually know each other and love each other and talking trash about each other that way. I'm a big fan of that. I'm happy that my friends get money and that they are able to write for these roasts, but I love credit, so I hate it when people do these roasts and then they're like, Martha Stewart's hilarious. Did you know Martha Stewart was hilarious? And it's like, no, Mike Lawrence, Sarah Tiana are hilarious, and they made her look funny.
So Martha didn't write those jokes? I was wondering if maybe we could do like a little bit of a nice roast.
I love that.
Yeah, I do, because I feel like inherently roast leans troll. Mm-hmm. But what your show was very Goblin-centric.
Okay, Goblin-esque.
Yeah, so like give me an example of what like a nice roast would be.
Okay, I would say like you're just, it's amazing that you're both such a great host at this show while not being traditionally attractive in any way. And that is such a beautiful thing. You have a great head of hair in most areas, and that's part of what your charm is. I think the more that you show your forehead, the more people fall in love with you.
Barbecued. He got me. Wow. Skewered. I love it, Ron. I love it. And I would say, nice laugh. Good luck getting everybody to fall in love with you, because they already are. They already are in love with you.
Thank you.
I bet you walk in a room and your smile just lights up the joint. This guy, right? Am I right? Wanted to be my best friend and my dad, you know? So you liked that one. Mm-hmm. And on your podcast, you give people really good advice for things they're going through.
I try.
I would like Ron Funches' advice.
Okay.
Because I'm at a little bit of a crossroads.
What's going on?
I'm still working my day job as a life insurance salesman agent.
Okay.
Working for Brad and his company that he got from his dad. And I'm working like a dog every day, just trying to make a little ends meet. And forever, I'd have to tour on the weekends or take off work to tour. Mm-hmm. Then I got a podcast, and now that's really popping. Mm-hmm. And I want to become a full-time podcast host, lead singer of a premier Goblin metal band, Nekrogoblikon. But I'm scared, Ron.
Yeah.
I'm scared because the other job it's very secure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I get a salary. If I work another 10 years, I'll get benefits. Mm-hmm. So I'm scared.
Yeah. I mean, but you prefer this? You don't like that job, I imagine, right?
No. I do not get treated at that job like I get treated here. Mm-hmm. You know, there's no Ron Funches in the office, you know, looking at me with those longing eyes and a big bright smile. They're making fun of me behind my back. Mm-hmm. Susan's cooking salmon in the microwave, sticking up the joint.
Susan.
Sticky Susan.
Yeah. That's how she got the nickname.
That is.
That's actually the best way she could have got that nickname.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
It's the salmon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best way to do, if you know your path and you know what you want to do, is that you have to take that leap, because a regular job will always be there. You always have the ability to either come back or find a new one if you have that skill set. I think one of the main things I tell people, and lessons I learned myself, is to not make rush decisions out of anger. You got to make a plan. And if you can make a plan to escape your other job while amassing and reinvesting in this job, that's the best way to go about it. But at some point, you just got to make a leap, because I've been through the same type of thing where I worked at a bank call center and wanted to do comedy. And the only thing that my ex-wife I wouldn't say she's given me much good advice at all, but one of the best things she ever said to me when I was like, I'm like, oh, we got a kid. I'm trying to maintain this job and try to do comedy, and it's hard to do both. And then she's just like, nobody wants to hear comedy from a guy who works at a bank. And I was like, yeah, that's probably true.
Wow, ex-wifey from the top rope.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Yeah. And so I was like, yeah, I got to kind of make a choice here, make a decision. Either I'm a comedian or I'm the guy who works at the bank. I can't be both. And so I went with comedy. And yeah, it's the same hustle, That's what I always say is that either I was working for someone or working freelance. If I put in the same amount of work and I push myself hard, then the stress and stuff, whether I'm working for someone else or working for myself, the stress is a constant. So I'd rather work for me because I can put in more hours. I can push myself. I'm not beholden to somebody else's schedule to decide how much money I make. And if you're receiving positive feedback from your podcast growing and your career growing, and you got to listen to that because that's just scientific fact.
Johannes, put a reminder to quit on this day, 2025. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
That'll be my New Year's resolution.
I love that.
By the end of next year, I'm going to quit.
Okay.
I'm going to do it.
I agree with you.
Right now is what I'll say in a year.
I love that. Yeah.
You know what, Rod? I've enjoyed this so much. But there are some people out there, some trolls, who are probably huge fans of your movies, in the comments probably being like, I don't know if Ron is actually a goblin because, he was so pro-troll.
Yeah.
So I want to, before we do our final questionnaire and get you out of here, I want to make sure that people know that you're a goblin.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you would denounce your trollism
Sure.
on today's podcast
Okay.
and become Ron Funches.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love
We'll
that.
tour together. We'll be a tag team.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
I should tell the people. Just tell the people you're just like,
Sure.
You're now,
Ron Funches denounced trolls and my former troll ways, even though they are the reason that I am a homeowner, and I will never forget them for that. But now that the movie franchise is probably over, I have no use for you. So I'm now full Goblin, 100%, barring a reboot of the troll franchise. And then at that point, I will have to reconsider and go with what my heart tells me. But until then, 100% Goblin.
right now, Ron Funches is a goblin, everybody. Give him a claw. Give him a claw. All right, Ron. So here's what we're going to do. We have reached the end. This is the right now rapid fire questionnaire. Okay. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. I just want you to give me the answer as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Right off your dome.
Love it.
Don't overthink it.
Sure.
Jump on in.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Left or right?
Left.
West Portland.
Portland?
Favorite genre of metal?
Oh, heavy.
Okay, there's a snail chasing you. The snail is moving at a snail's pace, but it will follow you for the rest of your life.
Got it.
You can go as fast or as slow as you want, but the snail will always be moving in your direction.
Got it.
If you touch it or the snail touches you, Ron Funches dies.
Okay.
And before you ask, yes, it can swim and survive in any atmosphere.
Okay.
What's your plan to survive the snail?
I put a cup on top of it.
You ever been to Trader Joe's?
Yes, I like the
All
raspberry
right,
stick.
thank you, everybody. Ron Funches. This has been so fun. I know why they call your podcast that. Because as the podcast went on, I was getting better.
Yeah, we were getting better.
I was
together.
getting better.
Absolutely.
And at some point, you were talking to me, giving me advice. I felt like you were tying my shoe. That's what that felt like. I felt you are my father now.
Yeah,
you tied
I
my
have
shoe,
strong
and
dad
thank
vibes,
you.
that's
now
for sure.
I will not trip. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome, son.
So, Rod, now is your turn to promote whatever you need to promote right into camera.
Sure. I'm Ron Funches. Follow my Instagram at Ron Funch. We're trying to actually build over there. Come to ronfunches.com to find out if I'm touring in your city and come see me do stand-up. I would truly love that. I'm getting really good at it. Watch Loot on Apple TV. Watch Inside Out 2 on Disney+. Watch Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity on Prime Video. If you got a streaming service at all, just type my name. I probably got something on there, and that makes me feel really good. Thank you.
Now, Rod, that was great. And I love that you're promoting all your stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like a goblin thing to help each other.
Okay.
So if you look under your throat, there's a piece of paper with a little script I wrote for you because, I'm a big writer now.
Sure.
If you want to kind of read my promo for me, Goblin to Goblin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hello there. It's me, Ron Goblikon of Funchelicon. If you want to be getting better, do so by liking and subscribing to this podcast. And while you're at it, why don't you spend some loot in the Right Now Pod merch store? Where you see John's merch, you're going to say, nice one. Check the link in the description. And please, don't be a troll in the comment section. Be a goblin.
Hired! Fired! Yeah! Thanks, Ron!
A pleasure!
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Oh, so fun.
That was a great one. Yeah! Trolls? 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 Trolls?